This is Chris Videos. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Friday Night SmackDown, July 7th, 2023 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Now, we kick off the show with them showing the clips of what happened at Money in the Bank, with the Usos taking on Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa in the tag team match in the main event of Money in the Bank. And obviously everybody knows what happened, that Jey Uso pinned Roman Reigns for the first time in over 3 years. So yeah, that's what they showed there. And then speaking about them, Jimmy and Jey, the Usos, come out because they are hosting the tribal court. So yeah, that's what they're doing there. And they come out there and they said that the Usos are in their city tonight. And, you know, they was talking about how Roman Reigns has finally been pinned for the first time ever by Jey Uso in over 3 years. So yeah, that's what they was saying. But then they get interrupted by Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out and was talking about how he's a wise man of the tribal chief and all that stuff, doing his introduction, you know. And yeah, he was talking about Roman Reigns. And then he gets told to shut up by the Usos and stuff. The Usos tell him to shut up. And Paul Heyman was like, I don't shut up. The only person that can tell me to shut up is the tribal chief. And then as soon as he said that, that Roman Reigns is the only person that can tell Paul Heyman to shut up, and he'll shut up. Solo Sikoa grabs the mic out of Paul Heyman's hands, walked around the Usos, and throwed it outside the ring. So yeah, Solo was like, yeah, you gonna shut up when I say it too. So yeah, that's what he was giving off right there. But then after that, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns makes his way out there to the ring. And yeah, he was talking, you got the fans chanting, talking about, you got pinned, and stuff like that. And yeah, Roman Reigns acknowledged the fact that he did got pinned. He was like, yeah, I did got pinned and everything. That's what he was saying. And then he was talking junk to the Usos and stuff. And yeah, he was talking about how he did so much for the family and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, he goes like, what makes y'all think that y'all can do the tribal court? He says that he's the only one that can do the tribal court. When they do it, it don't mean nothing. And yeah, the Usos show Exhibit A. So yeah, we see that, and you know, it was all throughout the years when the bloodline started with Roman Reigns disrespecting the Usos and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what he was showing. And Roman Reigns, you know, he sees it and everything, and he says that he's been doing. He said he got forced to do all that. He says that he didn't want to do all that by choice. He got forced to do all that. And you know, Roman was talking about a lot of stuff, talking about how he's the tribal chief for a reason and stuff. How he's taking care of 5 kids at his house. He gets a daughter backstage and everything. They're watching tonight and everything. And he says that pretty much he's taking care of everybody's kids, the Usos' kids included, and all that stuff. He says not only he take care of his family, he take care of the Usos' family, Solo's family, everybody else's family, because that's what the tribal chief does. And then he starts complaining and stuff. And he goes like, you know what? I don't even want to do it anymore. And Roman gets upset, kind of. He grabs the title and just tosses it down to the mat. And then he passes over Jey that red necklace. I forgot what it's called. The Ula Fala, something like that. He gives it to Jey Uso. And he says that Jey can become the tribal chief. And at first he says that Jimmy would never become the tribal chief. That ain't won't happen. But Jey will possibly become it. And after he said that, you know, that's when he said he don't want to be it anymore. And then he gets on his knees and stuff. And, you know, Jey's wearing the necklace and all that stuff. He's kind of feeling bad for Roman. He gets his hand on Roman's shoulders and all that stuff. And while he's trying to talk to Roman just hits a low blow onto Jey. Jimmy's checking on Jey, and then Jimmy straight up jumps on Roman, beats him down and everything. Solo didn't start attacking right away either. But then Solo walks over there, grabs Jimmy, and then tosses Jimmy down to the mat. And then Solo starts looking at that red necklace and stuff. And then as soon as Solo was about to pick it up, Jimmy comes back over, but he gets hit with a Samoan spike by Solo, and then that's when Solo picks up the red necklace, and then Roman was like, give it here. And while Roman was telling Solo to give it to him, Solo wouldn't kind of do it at first, like he's like he ain't doing nothing pretty much, but Roman keeps on having to repeat itself. But then Jey comes up behind him, attacking both of them, and Jey starts beating down Roman Reigns. That's when Solo grabs Jey, and then he hits spinning Solo onto Jey, and then Jimmy was trying to get back up, but then he gets hit with a Superman punch by Roman, and then Jimmy got tossed out of the ring. Jey was trying to fight back, but they tied Jey up against the ropes and stuff. See, he's tied up and everything. Roman's beating the hell out of Jimmy. He grabs the title and he hits Jimmy upside the head, and then he gets on top of him, beating him upside the head with the title multiple times. Throws him to the steel steps, hitting him with the steps multiple times and stuff. And then we see Jey finally break free, where he kicked Solo in the stomach, and he jumps on Roman again, starts beating him down and everything. Solo grabs Jey and then hits a Samoan spike onto him, grabs him and tosses him over the announce table and stuff. And then Jimmy got laid on top of the announce table. Roman buried Jey with the chairs and stuff, and then that's when Solo gets on the ring barricade, and we see a bunch of officials and stuff like referees and Adam Pearce and stuff try to stop them, but Roman was stopping them from doing that. And then that's when Solo jumps off the barricade with a big splash onto Jey Uso through the announce table, laying him out, and then Roman throws on the red necklace. So yeah, that's what happened. Pretty good segment though to kick off SmackDown. Very long, but it was still a pretty good one. But yeah, there's multiple stuff happening tonight. Like, I think Austin Theory will be defending the United States Championship up against Sheamus tonight, and yeah, much more. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown, we get to the United States Championship match. But before we talk about that, we see Jey Uso on the stretcher, getting taken out of the arena, going into the ambulance. So yeah, Jey Uso says he's going with them, and they hopped in the ambulance, and yeah, we see a bunch of superstars and all that stuff, like Rey Mysterio and all of them watching this, and Adam Pearce telling the ambulance to go. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yep, then we get to the next match. It was the United States Champion, Austin Theory, versus Sheamus, 1-on-1 for the United States Championship. And you know what? This match was a pretty damn good match. It was going back and forth and everything, up until we started getting towards the ending. We see Sheamus trying to hit the high cross onto Austin Theory, but Austin Theory pretty much got out of his hands. And then Theory gets on the ring apron, trying to hit that roll-in drop kick onto Sheamus, but Sheamus hits like a pretty much like a spine buster type move onto Theory. He pins Theory, but Theory kicks out of two, and as soon as Theory kicks out of two, Sheamus locks on the clover leaf onto Austin Theory, and it looked like Theory was about to tap out, up until we see Kit Wilson and Elton Prince, Pretty Deadly, running down to the ring and everything. Kit Wilson gets on the ring apron. He gets punched by Sheamus, getting knocked off the apron. Elton Prince got grabbed by Sheamus, and Sheamus starts hitting the 10 beats to the battering ram onto Elton Prince, beating him in the chest multiple times. And then all of a sudden we see Theory hit that rolling drop kick onto Sheamus. He picks up Sheamus on shoulders, trying to hit A-Town down on the Sheamus, but Sheamus lands on his feet, and then Sheamus hits that knee to the face onto Austin Theory. He pins him 1-2. Theory barely kicking out at 2, but then after that we see Ridge Holland and Butch, the Brawling Brutes, coming down there, brawling with Pretty Deadly and stuff, taking them out. And then we see Kit Wilson kick Ridge Holland away, and he was on the ring apron, and then Sheamus hits the bro kick onto Kit Wilson, knocking him off the apron. But after he hit the bro kick, Austin Theory immediately rolls up Sheamus, grabbing the tights at the same time, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Austin Theory defeated Sheamus tonight on SmackDown, and he has retained the United States Championship. That's what happened. Pretty good match, though. I'll give that match 3 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty damn good match between Austin Theory and Sheamus. But yeah, up next, we're going to be seeing Edge as a special guest on the Grayson Waller Effect up next on SmackDown. So yeah, Edge will be making his return up next on Friday Night SmackDown. But yep, that's the next thing that's going to be happening. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we get to the next segment of the night where we see Grayson Waller hosting the Grayson Waller Effect. So yeah, he's hosting it in Madison Square Garden. And speaking about that, Grayson Waller was talking about how it's so great to be in Madison Square Garden tonight. And he says that he got a special guest tonight, and it is the rated R superstar Edge. So yeah, Edge comes on down and everything, and Grayson Waller... And yeah, Grayson Waller was Edge was talking about a lot of stuff, talking about how he had a lot of great memories in Madison Square Garden and all that stuff, like SummerSlam 1998, where he teamed up with Sable to take on Mark Mero and Jacqueline in a mixed tag team match and all that stuff. How it was great, how he walked through the crowd and everything and dove in and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Edge was talking about. And he was talking about how he just had a lot of great moments in Madison Square Garden in general, you know. That's what he was talking about. And Grayson Waller was talking about how don't you got like a special announcement or something? And Edge was like, what are you talking about, a special announcement? He just said that he was just here to be in Madison Square Garden. And Grayson Waller was like, yeah, the special announcement, the announcement that you was going to be retiring tonight. And yeah, that this was going to be the last every time that Madison Square Garden will see you ever again. And Edge was talking about like, oh, that, I'm not even retiring. He says that, you know, that I already spoke to management backstage and that you already done got yourself in deep waters here, you know, doing your stunt with John Cena and all that, and Money in the Bank and everything. So yeah, since you done got yourself in deep waters and you haven't even had a match on the main roster or anything, and you've been doing all this stuff, then you got a match against me tonight. So yeah, Edge was like, get ready for tonight. And he just walks out the ring. But yeah, later on tonight, Edge versus Grayson Waller 1-on-1. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing AJ Styles taking on Karrion Kross 1-on-1 up next on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a 1-on-1 match. It was AJ Styles with Mia Yim at ringside versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett at ringside in a 1-on-1 match. So yeah, AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross 1-on-1. Karrion Kross comes out there with his leg taped up a little bit. Apparently he got an injury or whatever. But this match, it didn't matter because this match didn't even last that long, actually. It only lasted a few minutes. Karrion Kross was taking control of this match in the very beginning, beating down AJ Styles. At one point, he hit the Kross hammer onto Styles, but then he was trying to lock on the Kross jacket on the Styles, but Styles fought out of it. And eventually, he popped up on the ring apron, trying to hit the phenomenal forearm onto Kross. But then Scarlett grabs Styles by the leg. That's when Mia Yim comes up grabbing Scarlett and throwing her into the barricade, laying her out. Karrion Kross comes back, lifting Styles up on his shoulders, but Styles fought off of his shoulders and went back onto the ring apron. And then Styles hits a big forearm to the back of the head onto Kross, and then he hits him with the phenomenal forearm onto Karrion Kross, and then pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, AJ Styles defeated Karrion Kross tonight in a 1-on-1 match. That's what happened. The match was quick. I give that match, I'll just give it 1 star. That's what I'll give it. It was nothing really too special. Just Kross losing again. But yep, that's what happened there. But yeah, later on tonight still we got Edge versus Grayson Waller 1-on-1 later on tonight on SmackDown. But up next we're going to be seeing the WWE Women's Champion Asuka up next on SmackDown. So yeah, we're going to be seeing what she got to say up next on SmackDown. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we see the WWE Women's Champion Asuka make her way down there to the ring. And the first thing she says is nobody's ready for Asuka. But then all of a sudden she gets interrupted by Bianca Belair, which she ran down there and tackled Asuka down, beating her down and everything, making the attack. But then Charlotte Flair's theme song hits. She comes running down. Bianca gets out the ring, and both of them's going at it outside of the ring. And then we see Asuka coming up, hitting a baseball slide drop kick onto Charlotte and Bianca, taking both of them out. Asuka climbs up the second turnbuckle, and like she's going to climb all the way up to jump on them, But then while she's climbing up the turnbuckles, we see Io Sky and Bayley coming up from behind. Io Sky hitting Asuka in the back with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Bayley and Io Sky starts beating down Asuka, and it looks like Io's about to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase because Bayley hits the rose plant onto Asuka, onto the briefcase. So yeah, she got taken out, and then Io climbs up the top turnbuckle and jumps off with a moonsault onto Asuka. And yeah, they're about to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase up until Bianca grabs Bayley by the legs, dragging her out the ring and throwing her up against the barricade, taking her out. And then Io had the Money in the Bank briefcase in her hands. She turns around. Charlotte comes up with the big boot, hitting the briefcase that hit Io in the face, taking her out, and Asuka quickly escaped. So yeah, Asuka's up the ramp, Charlotte's in the ring, Bianca's by the announce table outside the ring. So yeah, that's what happened. They're all having a stare down. But yeah, pretty good segment though, I guess. That's what happened there. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing the Rated R Superstar Edge taking on Grayson Waller one-on-one up next on SmackDown. This will be Grayson Waller's main roster debut up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match. It was the Rated R Superstar Edge versus Grayson Waller one-on-one. So yeah, this is Grayson Waller's main roster debut match. So yeah, that's what he's having, and it's up against Edge. In this match, it was a pretty good match. Edge was doing a lot of stuff, trying to take out Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller was doing pretty good up against Edge. Like at one point, we see Edge had a crossbody off the top turnbuckle, trying to pin Waller, but Waller kicked out too and everything. So yeah, Grayson was just fighting back a lot of times in this match. But then we get to the ending when we see Grayson Waller lift up Edge onto his shoulders. Edge fought off his shoulders, and then he hits the execution onto Grayson Waller. He throws his arm over Waller, pinning him for the 1, 2. Waller barely kicking out at the count of 2. Edge goes to the corner, setting up for the spear. He runs to try to hit the spear onto Waller, but Waller rolls out the ring and Edge hits his face onto the second turnbuckle. That's when Grayson tries to hit that rolling stunner onto Edge. And yeah, as soon as Grayson rolled right back into the ring and he jumped up in the air, he gets hit with a spear by Edge, and he got pinned for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Edge defeated Grayson Waller tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. But then, after the match ended, Edge grabs the mic and he tells Grayson Waller that he swam. So yeah, that's what happened there. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match between those two guys. But yeah, that's what happened there. But then we see the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns with Solo Sikoa backstage, and then we see Paul Heyman walking into the locker room, and he tells Roman Reigns that Jey Uso made his way back to the arena, and that he is looking for Roman Reigns. And Roman tells Paul Heyman, he goes like, look, he don't gotta look long because I'll be out there in the ring next. So yeah, that's what Roman said. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman, the Bloodline, up next on SmackDown. So yeah, we're going to see what Roman gets to say up next. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. And by the way, next week they announced that Asuka will be defending the WWE Women's Championship up against Bianca Belair one-on-one next week. So yeah, that match looks like that'll be happening next week on SmackDown. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we'll get to the last segment of the night where we see the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa, the Bloodline, in the middle of the ring. And yeah, they was on commercial break and Roman's already out there. So yeah, we didn't have to go by Roman's theme song, his entrance, once again right there. But yeah, Roman's in the ring and he tells Madison Square Garden and all of New York to acknowledge him. And as soon as he says that, the Usos theme song hits, and you know, we're expecting Jey to come walking out, but instead we see Jey in the crowd and stuff, and he's coming walking down the stairs and everything, going through the crowd, and then Solo gets out the ring. Jey jumps off the barricade onto Solo, beating him down and everything, laying him out, and then picks him up and throws him face first into the ring post, taking him out. And then Roman's in there in the middle of the ring. Jey grabs a steel chair. He gets into the ring. Roman tries to hit him with the title, but Jey hits him in the stomach with the steel chair and then hits him in the back with the chair. And like when Jey was about to hit Roman again with the chair, Solo gets in there, grabbing the chair out of Jey's hands, and then that's when Jey hits a super kick onto Solo. Solo bounces off the ropes. Jey picks up the chair again, hits Solo in the stomach with the chair, and starts beating him in the back multiple times with the steel chair, and then Solo rolls out the ring. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then Jey grabs a mic and pretty much he says that Roman took Jimmy away from him, and he says that he got to get him now. He says that he is the judge, the jury, and the executioner, and he says that he challenges Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, and pretty much he gets the title in his hands because Roman left it in the ring when he got hit with the chair. So yeah, Jey is challenging Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, and it looks like it'll definitely be happening at SummerSlam. But yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good segment though. I like this segment, and I like the segment from earlier tonight, which that segment earlier was freaking fantastic. Match of the night, it's either the United States Championship match with Sheamus and Austin Theory, or Edge versus Grayson Waller. Edge versus Grayson Waller was a good one, so I'll probably say that was match of the night. But yeah, tonight's SmackDown, other than the Bloodline stuff and, the U.S. title match was okay, and then Grayson Waller and Edge was okay as well, tonight's SmackDown was somewhat lackluster, in my opinion, but the Bloodline storyline helped it for sure. Definitely with the first segment, because that segment went on like over 30 minutes, I think it was. So yeah, that was a long one right there. But yeah, for tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, I'll give it 8 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a good episode of SmackDown. Well, decent. At least the Bloodline storyline was really great. But yeah, that's why I'll give tonight's show. But yeah, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Bales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Monday's Monday Night Raw reviews and tomorrow night's AEW Collision reviews. See you guys later. Until then.